Welcome, everyone, to this year's last session of Flames of the Divine. Chaos, would you like to recount what happened in the last session?
Well, last session we defeated the dream monster and made our way out of the regained the we found the girl we were looking for. We got her out of the temple, and now we're heading up the river to find our way back to our mother.
And right. Also, a couple party members have dreams, but Gregor isn't quite privy to that yet. But in general, you got all of it. Okay, so you all wake up the next morning.
Alrighty, so is currently stretching and looking out.
It feels like the first time I was able to genuinely have a good sleep. At least in the past couple of days.
Yes, because nobody's trying to use our dreams against us.
Not yet, anyway. Well, how's everyone doing this fine morning?
Heaven rubs her eyes and groans. Ishak called on me last night.
Yes, he did. What did he want?
He wanted to know what we were doing, what was up. Making sure that we made it out of the shadow zone. Shown again. Yeah, the Shadowfell. Oh, and turns out we're being stalked by a demon hyena.
Well, that does not surprise me.
Probably
Most
not the
likely.
worst thing we could be stalked by.
Well, it's sent by Ladon, most likely. And I think it's because it thinks we have the cards from the temple.
Well, all things considered, I say good.
You think we can kill it?
I don't think I can kill anything until I look at it, but I find it more reassuring that the pride is not being threatened by it.
There is another thing. If I remember correctly, it's poisonous. Got like a scorpion tail.
Understood. Rip off the tail as soon as possible.
Yes, that would be a great idea.
Do you really think he would be traveling alone, though? I mean, there is quite a numbers disadvantage if it does try to fight us.
Yashak did say there could be more than one, at least two. But I only know of the one. Either way, it might still be following us now that we've left that nightmare temple.
Well, we're in a big enough group that we should be able to take care of them if they do jump us, but let's not waste any more time. We are still on the clock.
Right.
just make sure. You are okay, are you, Heaven?
Little tired, but okay.
You be sure to let us know. If one of us suffers, the whole group suffers.
Alright.
Well, I suppose we should continue on our way now.
The others we left behind should be coming back to the pride soon enough after we arrive. So we should. And well, we do need to deliver the little girl to her mother.
Me too.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, I know you were about to say something.
After the mention of Julie, Talos does turn around to see if she's okay.
She's awake. She's looking a little bit. She's looking a little better. She's looking better than she did when you first found her. Like, she's a bit more alert than she was. Still not fully recovered, though.
Will you need some healing ointment, little one, or will you be able to make the rest of the trek home?
Is it far?
DM out of character. How far is it?
If you make good time, and like you've been making pretty good time on the river, like way faster. Like you're going downriver too, so it's way faster than you could have gone on land. You make good time. You could be back at the Fire Maiden camp by late tomorrow.
Telos looks out over the river, thinks for a minute, and he says, "By late tomorrow, if we're not waylaid by anything, we should be there by tomorrow."
Yeah. Well, because you do know that also that's a fairly big if, as you know you're going to have to be passing through enemy territory to get this to go in a straight line, basically.
Well, yeah. Talos does add that caveat saying that they may get waylaid. They may get waylaid for their own safety, but, best estimate, late tomorrow, maybe the day after.
Yeah. So, all right. So, okay. Like, I think that should be good then. Yeah, like looking at her right now, the best you could say is that she has all level of exhaustion right now. Not really anything your ointment can heal.
Talos gets on one knee and he says, "Tell you what, you make sure to rest up as much as you can, and I'll carry you as far as I can."
Okay. And she hops up onto your back, piggyback style.
And Talos, of course, lets it.
Now, okay, so I assume at that point you all set out.
I suppose so.
Indeed. Okay, so all right, so you set out on the river, and again you are. It's pretty much a straight shot for most of the journey, and you're making very good time. But then, all of you roll perception to see who spots this first.
Oof.
Okay, Rudy spots it first. So, Rudy, you spot. You see. Downriver. You see. You actually. You see. You see. Familiar-looking structures. Ones similar to the to what you saw at the base camp at the plateau. No, and Knoll lookout post. Yeah. Hey. You see a Knoll lookout post.
Talos looks ahead and notices, and he just sighs. Well, we were making good. Well, we were making good time while we were at it.
Yeah.
Guess we best head around the long way to avoid them.
Yeah.
At least we've got the time to spare, I believe.
Yeah. Like basically they've just got like basically what looks like sort of an large sort of an outpost just in just on the just on an island right in the middle of the river. So, but more than that, as you pass just a little bit closer, or off to the sides, you see others dotted on either side or bank of the river. They don't seem to have spotted you yet, but they seem to all be keeping a lookout to the north.
Talos sighs and says, "It's never easy, is it?" All right.
Well, where's the thrill in that?
I suppose so. But for the time being, we need practicality over glory. Zelo?
Hmm?
You still have that little invisibility spell that will cloak all of us, correct?
We'll have to wait till nightfall to make it most effective, but I do have it, yes.
Well, I'd say nothing for it right now. We best bide our time. I would say safest route is, well, seemingly that way.
We can also try to hold our breath in the water until we get past the current.
Gonna have to wait. Gonna have to wake up Julie for that one.
You got options, is all I'm saying.
True. Well, what do the rest of you believe? Shall we take our chances in the river or wait for nightfall? Either
I
Either
believe
way-
Nightfall would be the better choice. After all, if it does end in a fight, they may be a bit less sharp at night during night.
Evan looks around for some reeds. Do I need to roll anything?
For that, no. Reeds are quite easy to find around here on the banks.
All right. Evan breaks up some reeds and hauls them out and hands each of her companions a reed. Use this for air.
Are you suggesting we go underwater?
Probably be a good idea. Like in the water.
How murky is the water, DM?
The current's moving fast enough that it's actually fairly clear. That said, and also with the currents moving fast, as like you're gonna have to you'd have to swim kind of carefully.
Well, Heaven, I hate to say it, with the clear water, it wouldn't matter if they're too close to the surface for reeds.
Not to mention, we'd probably be, with this kind of current, we'd be making a lot of noise.
No, I wouldn't say noise would be the issue.
Yeah, like in yeah, like okay. I've actually like I've got a map. Like I've got a hold on, I've got a map for you. Here's a general picture of what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like you guys are much further back, honestly, but yeah, here's what you're generally dealing with here. I mean, we can say that you just send out Hope to do a bit of scouting.
With the currents, you would have to move carefully around the island.
Yeah, like it's not like they're not too strong to swim in, but they are strong enough. But they are strong enough that you have to be careful swimming in them.
Right. How long you think, by a guesstimation of current, if I can I see how long we would have to stay underwater to hold our breaths to get around the island if we were like efficient with it?
And by guesstimation,
I can roll if you like.
no, no, yeah. If Hope's scouting, then you don't really need to. I'm just trying to estimate myself right now.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. I'd give it a minute. Maybe two if you wanted to be sure you got out of sight.
As long as we don't get caught in anything, it will take just about a minute or so, maybe a little bit longer. So what does everyone think? Should we just wait for nightfall? I think that'll be the simpler solution. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, wait for nightfall it is. We can save the reads for when we, for another day.
Okay. So you wait for nightfall.
Yeah.
I'm not going to adjust for light. As for lighting, they've got fires going, and you can and most of you can see in the dark. You can still see pretty well.
Okay.
Okay, so what exactly are you all doing?
If we're going to straight to nightfall,
Well, if you want to do anything before nightfall, like this would be the time to do it.
got it. I will mention this since I feel like it's a good time to. Sela seems a lot more despondent in the past few days of travel. Like she's had something heavy on her mind and she's just a lot more silent. Like how I'm talking is how she's been talking.
Is everything alright, Sela?
I'm thinking how different it is here than compared to my homeland.
Well, I noticed how different it was when I first arrived in Lundruck, yes.
Feels like there is no hold or no meeting of power through naming or family. Rather, it's by action, and that's just different for me.
Perhaps it's just me, but I prefer it this way. It means that I'll never rest on my laurels, and I'll always grow. Well, and I'll always improve myself to become greater, so that I can always, well, my actions carry weight.
You can always say the same about certain families, the ones who always start up from the bottom. And if they ever made it to the top, then their name will hold weight. But that's also for the future of their children. You guys, in particular, always relied on neighboring areas to protect your children. It just seems a little different for me.
Well, some would say that's the beauty of the world, is it not? I mean, I couldn't even begin to understand all that civilization and where you come from, but it's an interesting place to say the least.
Well, maybe I should be a bit more wild to fit in with my environment.
If that's what. I agree with you.
I always did. I care what my friends think of me.
Well, Rudy does have a point. You do whatever you feel is right. But at the end of the day, I care for CeeLo, and whoever CeeLo is up to you.
Whoever CeeLo is, then. Well, I'm not gonna change anytime soon, if that's the question being. I guess I'm just adjusting to the environment. Normal tricks that what I pull won't work here as often.
That is fair. Though, as an offhanded comment, I will say, if you let your hair grow a little wilder, as you put it, I think you would look rather nice.
I wouldn't call it that way, is what I meant by that. But that is an idea.
And again, I don't believe you can get any more wild than my own mane right here. I've just let this thing grow ever since I started traveling.
Yeah, I haven't still needs to give you a good haircut.
Yes, we've been meaning to do that. Somewhat been waylaid by everything that's happened here. Honestly, you should have seen how short my mane was when before I left.
And it was a bowl cut.
And what of you, Rudy? Have you changed since you started the journey?
And people who appreciate your existence. Talis just chuckles at that.
Sia just has a full grin on her face at that. Oh, at least you still collect your books.
Yes,
Well,
not much reading. Sorry, go ahead.
That won't do then. Hopefully we can find some land that has more books to offer.
Maybe on our way back after all this nonsense is done and over with, we pick up a couple of books on the in between city.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm doing a dramatic pause. I'm just thinking. It'll be a nice gift then. For now, however, let's escape the dangers ahead of us.
Speaking of which, you guys are still like keeping an eye on this snow encampment, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, in the last couple minutes, you've started to notice something interesting. There have been new arrivals in the form of a few drow. To your knowledge, you still have some time left.
Yeah, we didn't see him personally.
Well, no, you were all there for the actual meeting with her.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you had that book club.
No, that was the initial meeting, but we actually did meet the pirate queen herself.
Yeah.
Didn't we just take one? Okay.
I'll just say you haven't cast it all, so I could just say go ahead and pick them now, since you haven't cast anything today yet. Okay.
If you can, go for it. I'll have Hope investigate the area.
Go for it. The more information we have, the better.
Well, you take a round. You take a look, and well, yeah, like there's quite a few of them. Actually, and this one is this one and looks well. He's definitely got better looking armor than the rest of them. 25. And hold on, that should be here. Yeah, Kalena. K something. This lady. Okay. Hey. You're here back. I will relay. Oh, hold on. He knows how this spell works, so I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to give me a moment to sort of compose the answer. Yeah,
I've been there.
The first half I agree with. The second half, if I didn't know it was terrible, I wouldn't have bought it. You're like, this food would be wasted otherwise.
It's like that video of the otter that just is disgusted it's eating watermelon, but it keeps eating anyway.
Okay, so you hear back from my surprisingly deep sounding voice for a drow. Will relay news. Will instruct soldiers to pretend not to notice you. Continue to fire main camp as planned.
All right then.
Well, it's a good thing we waited.
That means they don't want to draw suspicion, so someone on their side is relaying information.
Drow do not. No matter the faction in this world, dark elves do not stint when it comes to magic.
All right then. Good job, Brady.
Yeah.
Good job, Brady.
That still leaves the other half, though. So we should still conceal ourselves and move on.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, like unfortunately, this Drow squad commander can't really do anything to command the Nulls.
Right.
But yeah, Talos knocks Sela, and he says, "If you would, Sela."
Is it dark enough yet?
It's evening at this point, so I would say yes.
Okay. Sela will cast Globe of Twilight and just move on.
Okay, all of you roll stealth with advantage. Is that right?
That would be the case, because they are technically hidden.
So are we rolling stealth?
Oh, well,
Roll stealth. All of you roll stealth with advantage.
Wow.
Gregor, you actually don't roll. Okay, okay, so far that's a 7, a 24, a 20, and an 8. So
I'm going to use my nat 20 and use it on myself.
okay.
So that is a 22.
Okay, so oh, and actually also Jule needs to roll. I think
Well, Talos is carrying her, or
yeah, but that's a 12. So that's a pass overall. Like one of the Drow soldiers actually spots you, and then immediately chats up the Knoll that he's sort of standing right next to, distracting the Knoll so you can slip by. Yeah, and as you pass by, you actually get a pretty good look into the camp, and you see the Sashuva, or one of them possibly. You see it in you all get a good look at it for the first time in person, and lest you all forget, this is what you are looking at. Where did I put that? So you all get a good look at that for basically the first time, and you sneak by without incident. That happens. Don't worry about it.
Well, it's a good thing we didn't have. It's a good thing it didn't come to a fight. I think that could have gotten real ugly.
Yeah. Another thing you notice is that the Drow were just oh so casually moving as if to surround it.
Quite some guts on those guys.
Well, I imagine if anyone would be, well, experienced with ambush and guerrilla tactics, I believe it would be Drow, or at least these pirates. Yeah, well, no better ambush than one from the inside the enemy's own walls, right?
They're confident. I'll leave it to them.
All right. So, as you all pull away from the camp, you make it past with no incident.
All right. Once everyone's slinked past and we've gotten a fair distance away, Talos checks to make sure Jule's doing good.
And like her eyes are like just wide. Hyena thing was big.
Tell me about it.
I want one.
Well, you certainly have exotic tastes, don't you?
And she looks around. And I'm tired of spiders.
Well, to be fair, I could somewhat understand. I don't even know why they need 8 legs. I work perfectly fine with 2. Yeah. I mean, hells, most animals work perfectly fine with 4.
And to be good at climbing, maybe.
So, just have claws. No need to have multiple legs.
Like, and roll persuasion for Asian real fast, or actually just charisma in general.
All right.
Well, and well, she didn't roll very high either, so says, you can imagine spiders with claws, though.
Yep. Well, they've got spindly little legs. Unless they grow paws, it would be difficult to imagine.
Just like little spikes at the tips.
That's 8 legs for killing things, Talos. Sheila just chimes back.
You know what? Considering the valley, that wouldn't be too out of the ordinary.
You guys have scorpions, I believe.
Ugh, hate those things.
Yeah, like, hey, you do not. Yeah, your clan does not have good relations with the Twinkali.
Yeah, Talos just at the even mention of scorpions, he just looks like his face scrunches up like oof, hate them.
Sheila just makes a small chuckle at that.
But hey, I'm sure once we get back to your mother and all this is settled, she could probably get you a hyena or 2.
Like, her eyes kind of light up at that. Lately, yeah, it's because I've been dealing with a cold for the past couple months.
Eesh.
Yeah, like I may have mentioned that this is going to be a bit of a shorter session. This is part of why. Yeah, it's it's just a fall/winter cold. I dodged it last year, and now I'm paying for it.
But yeah, Talos says, well, I suppose you could you could have a worse companion. I mean, it's hyenas are effectively dogs, aren't they? So they're loyal.
Yeah, dogs are nice.
I prefer lions myself, but well, I suppose that goes without saying.
Yeah. She sneezes. She sneezes when your mane tickles her nose because she's still kind of piggyback riding you.
Sorry about that.
6 feet Talus, jeez.
But yeah, Talus says, sorry about that, little one. But I do hope my mane is soft enough for you to sleep on.
It's kind of nice.
That's good to know.
There is a small huff from a silo.
Talus just kind of looks at her with a raised eyebrow.
She does not look ahead, look towards you. She's just walking ahead now.
Does she not like dogs or lions? She whispers to Talos.
I don't know. She seemed to get all defensive when I mentioned you sleeping. You think maybe she's jealous she can't piggyback on me instead of you?
It is a really comfy mane.
She was trying to put stuff into my mane when we were in Lundrock.
She starts digging through your mane to see if she can find anything.
She is now one with the mane.
Well, I'm gonna have her roll investigation to see if she does find anything. And she put a twig. She rolls a 9 total. Did you put a twig in there? And that's all I'm finding here.
Oh wow.
You are roboting super hard.
That's actually impressive.
Quite frankly, I don't remember what she put in there. It's been so long. I think. Hello.
We gotcha.
You're good now.
But yeah, Talus says, I don't quite remember what she put in. She tried to put a scroll in there at one point.
She's gonna roll to see if she knows what a squirrel is.
Scroll, not
Oh,
squirrel.
a scroll. Okay, yeah, she knows what a scroll is. Did it work?
I think it just barely got in there, but I think she might have pulled it out. I can't remember. Oh, Go ahead.
I stuffed a scroll in there to smuggle something into a city one time, and I forgot what it was. I think I took it out to sell to a merchant later on.
And she's now looking contemplative. Maybe I should grow my hair really long. And I could use it as a bag for hiding stuff.
Who needs a bag of holding when you got long hair?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it would look nice on you.
Roll charisma again.
Just charisma?
Yeah, just charisma. Maybe.
For a paladin of charisma too is weird.
Yeah, because I'm more focused on strength.
I can see. Yeah. I understand that reasoning.
Yeah, like Talos has definitely been focusing on like his physical stats more.
Yeah.
And hey, you want one with a magic focus? Look at Korax, who's going to be more sorcerer than anything by the end.
like a mistake of choosing Paladin that one time. Alrighty.
But yeah, what do you think, Evan? Do you think Julie would look nice with her hair down? Well, with her hair grown out? Evan?
Yeah, I heard ya. My mic got disconnected.
Ah,
Sorry about that.
okay.
Anyways,
Okay.
so Evan gives an analytical eye at Julie before making her decision. I think with either long or short hair, depends on how one handles it. They can have she you can have various cute styles. After all, there are hundreds of possibilities on style when it comes to styling hair.
Yeah.
Though when it comes to storing things like a squirrel storing nuts in its cheeks, then you may have to use some sort of binding at at the base, or see about seeing about making your hair really thick.
I didn't know you were such an expert on the subject, Heaven.
Yeah. Looks
Yeah,
at her.
hearing
Yeah, like looks at her very. Look. Yeah, looks at. Yeah, like she like sort of runs a hand through her hair, which is she's an elf, so her hair is like very fine.
yeah, Heaven, like she she basically runs her fingers through her ponytail and just dramatically flares it out, like a flick, and it, you know that. Well, anyone
Your
can.
mic's disconnecting.
Oh, sorry. Heaven flicks her ponytail, playfully. Well, anyone. Well, any like I said, anyone um can have. Hold on, I lost my train of thought. Um, but yeah, Heaven says, well, it's pretty. It's pretty much that's something I've learned as a young girl. Most women usually understand this. Some men too. You cannot believe the interesting styles I see men wear their hair, not just the one on the head, but their beards and mustaches as well. There was I recall seeing a dwarf that had like 27 braids in his beard, and he kept adding another more braids, each one symbolizing some sort of victory he had. And of course, there's small braids.
Aye, that's dedication.
Yeah, now you roll charisma, Heaven.
Oh boy. Um,
But that is quite a concept to tell a story with your face and your hair.
So that's a double nat 20. Julie is enraptured by all this. Like, she's like not talking, not interrupting you, just like watching you, and like when he buzzes, she's like, hey, yeah, go on.
I think you have a new fan, Miss Heaven.
Okay, who was the one that got the crown that increases charisma?
Heaven.
Anyone hear me?
Yep.
Can hear you
Okay.
now, yeah.
So Heaven just like grins and says, and continue to tell stories about all this fantastical and strange hairstyles she's seen during her travels, even pointing out some accessories such as her crown, though she doesn't explain what it actually does. And throws a look at Talus that says, if she's here while I do your main, she's gonna want to see how it's done. Including
yes, please. She looks actually kind of excited about that.
All right, fine.
Evan just grins with six. She has like that shit-eating green grin on her face.
But we are not keeping my main in those styles. Simple as it is, clean. Well, just keep it simple as it is when we're done.
Oh, don't worry about it. Maybe.
Oh, don't be such a sourpuss.
But yeah, nothing. A braid or two, just to show how a braid works.
Fine. But yeah, Talos looks at Gregor with this unamused expression.
Gregor is like has this the widest smile on his face. He thinks it was the cleverest thing to say.
Well,
Scylla hits Gregor on the side of his head.
I'm surprised CeeLo is getting in on this, talking about doing Talos's main.
You got other matters to think about. Besides just teasing Talos, even though that's a great pastime of mine.
well, little Julie, looks like you get physical demonstrations for when we return.
Gregor,
What's up?
you listen to me. And Scylla like leans in on him. And her voice gets darker, scarier, lower. You fuck with Talos, you fuck with me. You fuck with Rudy, you fuck with me. You fuck with Heaven. That's okay. That's not the point right now.
Oh my god.
You
I'm watching you.
did you mean in a clean or not so clean way, CeeLo?
In the clean way, obviously. Heaven.
Alright, let me know if you can hear me now, stream. You can continue.
Okay. But right now, Gregor, as I see it, between you and me, you're at least a 7. But it's not the point.
A 7?
Yes. What that means to you is unknown, but for me, that is my rating system.
I will overlook that.
As you should. For example, Hope is a 10.
Oh, I see. Not sure how to feel about that, considering you let her die a lot.
That's how much I'm fond of Hope. There is a connection between life and death that, even in death, is beautiful, and that's what Hope is to me.
That's really poetic, Silo.
Thank you. I read that from a book one time.
What
It was
book,
very-
what book is it? I should give it a read sometime.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was kind of boring. I was forced to read it. My friend from the bookstore. You haven't met him yet, but he is an avid reader, like Rudy, and he makes me read a lot of his books.
Well, it's always good to get new reference for vocabulary.
I disagree, but okay.
Fair enough.
You don't understand the pain I had to go through reading all those books.
Sounds like a real plight.
I will be right
It
back.
really was.
Sorry. I'll just type it.
Okay. But anyway, Gregor, that's not what this is about right now. This is about me trying to threaten you, and is it working yet?
Oops.
What was that?
Dang it. If you actually missed that, Sela said this is me trying to threaten you. Is it working yet?
I suppose it's working a little bit.
That's good. Anyway, we shall move on now.
But yeah, any more role play aside that people would like to do, or are we all good?
Gregor, what kind of weapon you got?
Well, the main ones I use at the moment are the spear of the woods and the red feather bow.
Can you... Sela wants to look to the bow real quick. Gregor, can I see the bow real quick?
Sure. Gregor shows Silo the bow.
She's weighing how heavy it is.
It's
She's
short
also
bow.
she's also just like messing around with it, pulling the string every now and then. And oh, this is a very neat bow. I'm surprised that. Wait, who gave this to you?
We got it in the temple, remember?
In the middle of you talking about that, suddenly the bow just flies out of her hand and up into the air.
What?
Oops. Well, good luck. And Scylla just moves on.
What?
What direction were you? Were you aiming it just straight up, or were you
Completely
up?
straight up. Yeah, just completely straight up.
Okay, then it's just gonna fall down on you guys. Then
Gregor attempts to catch it.
roll dexterity.
Dexterity. Oh, that's a save.
Well, it would be the same for you, I think.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that the bow conks you on the head.
Ow.
It's a neat bow.
Thank you.
Even-
It's served me pretty well so far.
And maybe you should try throwing it instead. I mean, it goes pretty far.
I'll consider it.
Scylla just starts laughing and walks on. And that's all I'm going to do. I just wanted to have a little fun with that.
Mm-mm. Okay, so in that case, your journey continues onward. And eventually, you make it back. You make it back to the fireman camp.
Ah, home sweet home.
I wonder if anything happened.
Does it look like anything's happened?
It looks very much business as usual. Like I mean, as you get close, as you walk through, tensions ends in the air are a bit high, which you can chalk that up largely to just you know the you know like you know the threat of all the gnolls to the north.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from that, it looks like business as usual.
All right then. Talos adjusts his grip on Julie a little as she's on his back. We'll just stop off by my house right quick to check on my brother. Then after that,
What's wrong with your brother?
He got forgetful after he was struck by what seemed to be some sort of undead monster.
I mean, my mom. My mom knows a bit about undead.
Yeah. Yes,
She uses zombies sometimes.
Oh, that's good. Good to know. That was actually somewhat part of the original deal. Was that with our new alliance, her and her associates would be your mother and her associates would be able to look at my brother to make sure if anything's wrong. The last thing we want is for him to turn into a zombie himself or some such.
If he does, aim for the head.
I'm more than aware. Thank you for the information. But we'll just take a brief stop to check on him, and then we'll bring you to our matron. Okay?
Okay. So I will. If that is the case, I shall drag you over to your family house. And somehow, Hope was already in there for some reason.
Hope is munching on an apple. That he is.
Yep. And Danae is looking very annoyed at Hope for stealing her apple.
Well, there you are, Hope.
Keep your control your little lizard, please, CeeLo. Also, hi.
Hello, Danae. How's my lock been?
And brother, I'm right here. Also, unchanged. Still trying to remember whatever it is I think I've forgotten.
Well,
doesn't seem to have advanced any.
Well, thank goodness it's not gotten any worse. But
Danae walks over. Oh, who's the cute one? And like Danae doesn't understand any of I mean, Julie doesn't understand any of this at all. Because she's speaking in Leonin. So she just says. Yeah, like it just sounds like different kinds of rar to someone who doesn't understand the language.
But yeah, Talos looks to Julie and he says, right, you probably wouldn't. Not many understand Leonin. Julie, this is my sister Danae and my brother Malak.
Hi, and she gives like a little wave. She's like just a little bit intimidated to be suddenly surrounded by all these enormous lion people.
Don't you worry, little one. Malak is a teddy bear, and Danae is well. She's friendly enough.
Until they steal my food. And Danae just like glares at Hope again.
CeeLo just chimes back. Hope didn't steal it. It was borrowing.
Then Hope had better plant a tree outside.
Well, you heard her, Hope. You better go outside.
Hope considers this for a moment, and then climbs up to one of the top of the tent pole, up of one of the tent poles instead, and just keeps eating the apple.
He's been rebelling lately. Maybe I should kill him for one more time.
Hope looks at you in horror.
Relax, you got at least 3 more lives.
Squints at you.
I feel like I'm like that cranky old wizard that just doesn't care about life anymore.
But we're just coming in to check on all of you. We'll just make sure everything's okay. So we'll be going to the matron now. Assuming anyone doesn't want to do any fun roleplay shenanigans with the family.
I will stay here to play with Hope.
Alrighty then.
Just do something random with me.
Do something random with you?
Yeah, I don't know your family, so I mean,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, by the way, Danae, I know this is perhaps outside of your wheelhouse, but could you do something for me?
Huh?
Well, Heaven here has made a rather interesting deal with the little lady here, saying that she'll show her all these different hairstyles with my mane. So if you could,
Danae's just like struggling not to burst out laughing when she hears that.
Yeah, very funny. So if you could procure the products that she will need for such an endeavor,
Evan,
I would appreciate it.
Pulls out her more and with pleasure. And she pulls out a mortar and pestle and goes to grab a jar of beetles.
I like her.
I knew you would.
She's doing a sort of a performative evil laugh right now, which sounds actually super intimidating coming from a Leonin.
Well, there you go, Heaven. You'll have your products soon enough.
Alrighty, Hope. Now I need you to plant a seed outside.
Styles, just so she can get an idea on what she's dealing with.
Could you repeat that?
Heaven goes into the camp to observe to see how Leonin males style their hair.
Mostly they kind of just keep it loose. Like there's not a lot of fancy do's. You do see a few braids here and there.
Okay.
Yeah, like a few braids. It's at least one, and straight up has dreadlocks.
Ooh. Interesting.
Evan, we're getting a lot of pops from your mic.
Sorry about that. Okay. How about now?
You're good.
Alright. Yeah, Heaven is like pretty is interested. To put it simply.
Okay. We will. We leave you to your investigation then.
What, like roll an investigation check?
Well, no, you don't really need to roll anything if you're just looking. It's going around looking at hairstyles.
Okay.
But I mean, this is going to take you a bit.
Okay.
Danae, I presume, correct?
And Danae nods.
I'm asking for a favor.
Gallows, can you translate, please?
She's asking you for a favor.
Oh, what is it?
She asked
Do you
you,
have-
what is it?
Do you have any scrolls or knowledge of books and such? I'm just curious.
Got some. Most of it's from my alchemy.
I
Just
expect.
Sorry, just assume Talus is relaying this back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair enough. I just figured you would be the more intelligent ones out of the group here. No offense, Talus.
He scrunches his face at you for a moment, but just lets it slide.
Yeah. As it happens, Danae is actually either one in the family with easily the highest instep. So.
Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna head out then. Let's go, Talus.
All right. So I'd say after some time, everyone's back together, and we can go up to see Ziora.
Okay. No, no, no. Hope stays behind. Like he's like still like sort of ferociously. Okay. How many of you have a dog?
I do.
I do.
I have two.
Okay, so you know how when your dog just like steals something off your bedroom floor and then just finds a place and ferociously guards it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hope is doing that with the apple core.
Maybe I should.
This is inspired by what my dog does with my socks.
Maybe I should give Hope a toy in the future. He might like that.
Yeah. In the meantime, you go up to the tent, and Ziora is in there, and so is the Drow matron herself.
Elematron Ziora, Miss Kalena.
Mom, and then she jumps off off your shoulders and runs to her, like, oh. Like Kalena like leans down and just hugs her. You're back. Like she straightens her. After a moment, she just straightens herself up. Very well. You have kept Fireman tribe. You have kept up your end of the bargain, and now I will fill up mine. And then she casts a spell that, at this point, you all recognize to be sending. And she just says, and she just says, and she just says one word: begin. And then she just pauses that and looks at you.
So I take it that we'll have somewhat of an easier time being laid on in his forces now. Yes.
And well, if my men do their job right, he won't have any forces by the time we're done.
Good. Then all that we all need to worry about would just be laid on himself.
And well, and Zero speaks up. Well, Briseis herself left yesterday morning, and she did not say where she was going.
Probably for the best. When worst case scenario, if the worst case scenario happens, then Leda will not be able to get that information out of any of us.
Indeed.
That said, Miss Kalena, I know you are perhaps eager to return to the safety of your home, but well, would you mind allowing Juliet to stay for just a little longer?
For what?
For beauty tips.
She blinks her hair. He like blinks and is like, here?
Talos just thumbs over to heaven.
Oh, I see. And she looks down at Juliet. Do you want to? Yes, please.
I know it's an unorthodox request, but well, she and my companion, well, made a connection, so there you go.
That's nice. Very well.
Kevin gives off her friendliest smile.
Roll charisma.
Okay.
Sorry.
Damn it!
Oh my god.
It was bound to happen.
She stares suspiciously at you, but says nothing yet. And if any of you had detect thoughts on right now, you'd say, my daughter's going to come home looking ridiculous.
Well, you guys have fun then. Sela just walks off at the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And amidst the chaos that's in the tent right now, she looks to Rudy.
Hmm?
I have a favor to ask.
Yes? Oh, sorry. Yes?
I would like you to deliver a message for me.
Sure. What's the message?
I want you to deliver it to Briseis. And I just want you to say, Scylla says thank you. And may your god be restored to her full glory one day.
I'll send that along. Wait.
Okay. You hear back. May the Fate Weaver guide you.
She said you should get into sewing.
Very well.
I love sending telephone.
Rudy
And
would
that's all I'm gonna do. She would walk on.
Rudy would of course eventually tell Salo what the actual message was. Rudy's just messing with her a little.
Scylla did look confused for a bit, and then she says, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And with that, I'll be AFKing probably to the end of the session. Thank you.
Actually, the session was going to end right now unless anyone has anything else they want to do immediately. Because any big stuff is going to take more time than we have left.
Got it.
Only
think
if, yeah, unless you want to do like the hair thing right away.
I figure we could start off the new year with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Alright, sorry. Alright, thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I...